Without very good entrepreneur, Italian design is an inexistent world. They take risks. They choose. Of course, we work together. We are in a team. But without them, without their energy, nothing is possible.
This is Unplugged, a series of conversations with creative minds from the design industry and beyond, hosted by H&H.
Buongiorno and welcome to another episode of H&H Unplugged. We have the great pleasure today to be here in a conversation with Mr. Piero Lissoni, talking to us from Forte dei Marmi. Good morning, Piero. How are you doing?
Good morning. Good morning to everybody. Working, and sometimes cooking and working and cooking. Yeah. And sometimes, we see the seaside and that's it. It was a strong lockdown for 2 months.
Yeah. Talking about the lockdown, what was your very first impression when you had the chance for the first time to step out and go for a walk and breathe fresh air?
Oh, listen, it was the silence. This is the purity of the silence, Everything, it was so clean. Everything, it is super clean, very silent, no cars, no noise, beautiful.
This is a thing that a lot of people also that we are talking, they got as main point.
Yeah, we got a new level of life. We got this kind of super sophisticated new attitude, Before it was traffic, action, or to the restaurants, bar, meetings, friends.
Yeah.
Now in 2 months, we redesign everything around us. It's more human for many reasons.
The world has been in a lockdown since more than 21 days. So many things we have conquered new habits now. Do you think that there is something that has influenced us so much that should be reflected also in a new tone of voice of the companies? I'm asking you that since you are the art director for many companies. Do you think that the companies, they should also, in their communication, in their values, they should change now, paying a different attention to new things?
Oh, yes. Well, I think, now we discover one simple detail. It's possible to do something without traveling, we discover it's possible to talk with the people. It's possible to touch the people without to be physically there. And that one is the first things. But the second one, honestly, I like to be ready when they discover antibody, medicine and cure, and we start again to live in a normal way, to traveling, to open our house, to stay with friends. I don't know, in a simple way, to move to the shops and to invite people, like in Milano for the Salone del Mobile or for the Design Week, to start again to be open-minded and to live. Now we only discover it's possible to do something without moving too much. We discover, for example, some meetings. Now it's possible to do meetings without spend time, I don't know, on the plane, cars and airplanes. It's good. For many reasons, it's good.
What about the intimacy, let's call it? We have the privilege today to talk to you and to enter your private space, your place, your home, your house. And this is happening on Instagram, on Facebook, with live conversations, with live concerts even. Putting about, I think, like showing, giving to each and every one a more human touch.
For another reasons, I think we discover the quality sometimes to spend time at home. We rediscover the space. We rediscover this kind of private dimension. Before, everything, for me, of course, I'm talking about of myself, it was a bit, sometimes too much public, Now I rediscover the capacity to stay at home. You read a book, it's good.
Yeah.
I reopen one small part of my life in a good way. And for that reason, I feel good, for that. I feel good. And I hope in the future, the people, they start to spend more time and to use more energies for designing and to living inside in the houses, or to choose good spaces in a private way.
If you should close your eyes and thinking about Salone del Mobile 2021, what do you see? What is the imagery? It will be exactly the same as we always experienced. It will be tremendously different.
I don't know. Unfortunately, I'm not a wizard. I'm not a magician. And, I don't know what happened in 1 year, because after the coronavirus, I discover every day is a new day. It means we adapt ourselves. We suppose, okay, we take care for a few days, and after that we are free. It's not true. Few days becomes few months. Now we don't know what is possible to do exactly, which way it's possible to stay together or not. I hope in my mind I will be very positive. I think in my mind, okay, next Salone del Mobile 2021 is like the other Salone del Mobile, with a lot of people in Milano, beautiful thoughts, beautiful things to do, something totally new. I like the idea, to jump again inside in a normal life with the normal confusion, the normal crowded people, noisy, normal life.
What's the responsibility today of an art director who has to help assist companies into evolve their vision in terms of products, in terms of communication? And I'm asking the responsibility now in a world that so dramatically and so quickly is apparently changing. We don't know how long it will stay. Maybe we will go back to a normal life in 2-3 months, but things for sure are changing, as we said. A new way of enjoying your home, a new space, a new perception.
Listen, we try to be. I don't think I need to change too much, because I never played like a fashion designer, and not against the fashions, of course. Fashion, it means, I never played with like art director, and I never follow fashion attitude to change so quickly our home. I never change in my mind. It's possible to design something, but tomorrow morning, you change again and you change again. I think I was, and I think to be, and I will be again, a serious designer in that, and a serious architect. If you design something, I design something with a durability, with a long term of life. Well, the discussion with us and the clients, it's exactly in the same way now. We don't need, again, to force something apparently glittered and very fashion for today. We need to continue to be serious, current inside in our way, not more. That's it.
So authenticity and ethic will always pay back at the same. I think that companies that I've seen from the outside or from the inside, the companies that have been very honest, actually, they didn't change that much their kind of communication throughout the years, because the core was still there and always the same.
Yes, because of course, if you think like Salone del Mobile, doesn't matter now with or without coronavirus. Think about Salone del Mobile, or think about some other exhibition all around the world. The first impression is a huge, beautiful kermesse. It's is a super show off. But if you start to scratch the surface of the show off, you discover on the back of the show off, it's incredibly level of work. It's incredibly level of seriosity in that. The old factories, they prepare themselves. Doesn't matter if the factories they are big or smaller, but they prepare themselves with incredible quantities of energies. They work a lot, they study a lot, they make a lot of prototypes, they prepare themselves very well, and they present themselves, for example, in April in Salone del Mobile, in a super beautiful and light and full of life show off. But it's not superficial. Everything it was well prepared before, because we never think, to do something only for the pleasure to be inside in the crowdy people and the crowdy quantities and the crowdy noise. That one is not the topic. The topic is we present ourselves, and we continue to be coherent in that. Except somebody who uses some other mobile like a place where it's possible to be there for parties, but that one is a secondary or collateral effect.
Do you think that what you're talking about, what you describe, is an ingredient of the success of the Italian design in the world, or is it a mentality that goes throughout all the design companies, no matter what, Italians or not Italian?
Listen, for the other countries, I don't know. I know quite well the old Italian design system, and the Italian design system is not inside in the hands of the Italian designers. The Italian design system, luckily, is inside in the hands of the industrial people, the entrepreneur, the Italian entrepreneur. And that one, I think it's a crucial distinction. Our partners, they take incredibly level of risks. Without the very good entrepreneur, Italian design is inexistent words. They take risks, they choose, they push the factories, they move. Of course, we work together, we are in a team, but without them, without the energy, without this kind of fields and skills, nothing is possible. That one is the secret of the Italian, or the Italian success inside in the design life.
I agree. It's great teamwork also. And the connection between designers.
It's a super teamwork, but for many people, they think, okay, the Italian design, it's so successful because we are creative, it's full of designers, we do incredible, good, baked, beautiful object or not, doesn't matter. But the real secret, it's on the opposite side, it's this strong community of factories. It doesn't matter if they are artisans or big factories,
or brands,
they move with the same spirit. They move with the same attitude, and they move with the same quality. Mentally speaking, of course, ideally speaking, and intellectually speaking.
Absolutely. Piero, I see a very beautiful plant there next to you. And it makes me think that in the last couple of months, it looked like the nature took back the ownership of our world, with many videos that we've seen of the dolphins going back to swim in the shallow waters of the port of Genova, with goose crosses the street, with foxes walking freely. What's the relationship, your personal relationship with the nature, and how that affects your projects in case?
Oh, listen, first, it's impossible to survive without the nature. First, second one, we need to respect again. And that one, it was a great lesson, If the people, they understood now, after 2 months, we need anyway to start again to respect the nature in a good way. I don't discuss about a disease coming from China or somewhere else, I discuss now it's time to start again to be and to open our eyes and to start to respect a little bit better, not too much because otherwise we become fake, but we need to open our eyes and to respect a little bit. In the last 2 months, one of the most important thoughts for me it was in the impossibility to buy flowers because everything it was closed. Now they open again. They open again the shops, and it's possible now to buy again flowers. And the first time, the first day, and the first time, I didn't take one classical espresso in a bar. I didn't take, I didn't move outside for doing something. I move outside for going to the shop flower for buying flowers. That's it.
It's pretty important also for yourself to be surrounded by natural the elements and beings.
Absolutely yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely yes. Yes. It's anyway that one. I hope we start again. I told you before. We start again to open our mind. Not too much, only a little bit.
Yeah.
It's not enough the great or the grand discussion. We need to be very human in the small things. To respect the small things, and after that, I think probably we become a little bit better. The small things is not, to improve again the great changement by words. It's enough sometimes not to use, for example, the car for one day and to move by bike. One day.
Yeah.
On 7 days you use one day, you walk, or
Yeah.
you don't, or you use the public transportation without to use the private cars. Why not? One day you don't eat too much. Why not? Now you start to use a bit of consciousness, not too much. You don't buy one new shirt again and again and again. For one time, you don't buy a shirt. It's okay.
Yeah. I think that this experience that we're going through is also proving to each and every one of us how unlikely what we used, or the most of the people, or many people, they used to think that, oh, but me as a single person, as a single human being, I cannot let's say, give my contribution. It will be too small. But this thing is proving that if each and every one of us would give a small contribution, which was in Italy like being diligent and respecting the rules of the quarantine, staying home, the effect will be way bigger. A lot will make a difference.
I think it's great changement after the coronavirus. I'm a little bit convinced in that, a lot of people inside in a different community, they start to use this kind of new mental idea, new ideally boundaries. It's possible to do something a little bit better than before.
Yeah.
It's possible to stop to consume too much. Not to, not in a great change, but only in the small details. If you're thinking like in a long way of small details, it's become, incredible great changement. But we need now to start to think small to become great.
Yeah.
Not vice versa.
Piero, you were mentioning before that having more time at home, you have more time also to read books. Is there any book that you would like to highlight that recently caught completely your attention?
Well, listen, I read a lot of books in the last 2 months, and I try to be back inside in complicated books like the philosophical books, because sometimes you need to start again to think. But at the same time, I read, the classical magazine with Donald Duck inside, and I spend more time with the fashion, magazines. I start again to think in a good way. I start again to read Cartesio, but at the same time, I read Donald Duck. It's okay.
Did you discover spending so much time with yourself now in a quite a space and time. Did you discover something new about yourself?
No, this one, no, because if you are bad, you are bad before. After that, you don't need to discover some qualities. You know very well who you are, more or less. I discover, for example, some some small details. I'm a little bit more open mind, because when you live in the same house, with another person, my fiance, my wife, you need to be good. If you are not good enough, can you imagine the disaster? Well, we discover we live very well together. We like to live together. We cook sometimes too much, but it's okay.
Look, I saw a while ago an Instagram story or a post where you were cooking some gnocchi. So I assume that you are a good chef, or at least that you like to cook. Yeah. And what's your relationship with the conviviality, with the friends, with the sharing food?
Well, this one, first I'm Italian. Second one, the conviviality and the qualities of this kind of level of community. It's very inside in our blood and DNA. I like the idea to prepare food, because sometimes it's a special mental space. When you do something like that, you need to be very concentrated. You need to clean your mind and to work exactly what is possible to do in the best way. That's it. For the gnocchi, it was my first time in my life. I never prepared gnocchi before, and I tried to be good. I learned the first gnocchis that was, without shape. The last one, it was a little bit better than before, but only a little bit better, not too much.
Yeah.
Yeah. I need again a lot of exercises for that. I need again more time, and I need again to do something.
Yeah, passion and practice.
Yes, passion and practice. Yes.
Passion and practice.
But I learn a lot. I learn to make pasta, for example. I never did before. I learned to make gnocchi, or I learn a lot. Yeah.
There is a question that I would like to ask you. What is the relationship with your colleagues, designers, and is there anyone that you take in great consideration? And did you ever told her or him?
Well, listen, I discuss with a lot of my colleagues, and some of them, they are friends. We're talking about of professional things. We're talking about of ugly discussion around of our community, gossips. It was good. Some of them, they try to involve me inside in connection, Instagram, and the other things.
So it's not a relationship of seeing each other as, let's say, a competitor.
Well, listen, the competition is inside in our nature, and we like to be competitive every day. But we continue to manage the studio. We close. We locked down the studio the 27th of February, and we moved 75 people in Milano at home with 75 personal computers and laptop, and another 15 from New York in the same situation a few days later. We continue to work. We're working every day. This one, it's unfortunately the bad or the dark side of the moon.
Yeah.
Because when you are in the office, when I'm living in my studio, in the end, I control some qualities of a life. Sometimes I'm escaped from the studio, I go out, I take coffee, blah blah blah. I go out for buy floors and the other things. But the competition, I come back one step. It's inside in our nature, and we continue to be competitive in front of the professional way. But for some other reasons, with some friends, we discuss again. We're talking. We're doing a lot of different things. But it was in the same situation like before. Unfortunately, I didn't spend time in the social life. I don't know, before we met for an aperitif or dinner or lunch or breakfast, now it's impossible to do that.
Yeah.
But we're talking together.
Do you think that this segregation, being separate and being apart now from other human beings, is affecting, I'm not saying in a bad way, but changing even touching your kind of creativity? You have to be surrounded by colleagues, other human beings, to be expressed the better of yourself, or you are even a solitary creative?
Listen, I think I'm, in the end, the lockdown changed a lot of different things, but in terms of creativity, in terms of methodological and disciplined work, it's exactly like before.
Yeah.
When I need to work alone, I work alone. When I need to open a community, we use
Zoom,
a lot of electronic system to be in a community, and that's it. I didn't change my life.
Yeah.
If I need purity and silence and calm and detachment moments, I switch off the old devices and I'm alone, like before.
Are you concerned about the future? Are you afraid about the future?
No, I'm not afraid. I'm more or less positive. I don't know what happened. That is the truth. I'm a little bit scared for that because I don't understand what happened for a lot of controversial things. Some region in the world, they are again ready to fight again about. Some other people, they try to be better without any reason to be better. I'm afraid of this kind of bad humanity. That one sounds in my mind a little bit particular, but I'm positive. I think it's possible with a bit of changement and a bit of improvement to start again to live like before.
Yeah,
that's it, not more.
Yeah,
and I like again to travel, to move. Sometimes not too much like before, but I need, to move in, I don't know, in the Emirates to see the new construction site, or in China for following our buildings, or in the United States to see what happened inside in a new area, or in Brianza nearby Milano, to look and to touch the all different prototypes and to discuss for the next presentation. I like to think, okay, the life is become again like before. Think about in the 14th century, in the 15th century in Italy or in Europe, the whole area, it was destroyed by the pest. And it was not an easy moment in that time, Well, it's become the Renaissance, and after that it was one of the greatest season in a human history,
So,
Well, we need to be ready to start again and not to rehab, but to start again in a good way.
Piero, thank you very much for your time. Very interesting conversation, for your answers. And I'm sure we all hope to see you very soon in person, your new creations. Maybe next Salone del Mobile.
My God, I need to be in the area, and I like to live back in Dubai, and
we look forward to it.
Because
as possible.
We just started to think about for the new project there. We need to be back again.
Yeah, we look forward to see you very soon here, and thank you very much. It's been a great pleasure. Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure for me also. Grazie.